right, so we're back. All right, so I'm going on an appointment here, and I'm figuring out the lead source. So what's the lead source? Okay, so this is from a pay-per-click advertising campaign that we did. Actually, the lead is a follow-up lead. They had an offer from another seller, another buyer, and the buyer could not close, and then it came back to us. So that's actually a great understanding. Now, think about this. You get a lead that comes in, you go to the appointment. The seller wants retail, right? So he got 2 offers from 2 other people. He took one of them. Then the other offer backed out, said they couldn't do anything. He took the other offer, went into escrow, and that buyer couldn't close. So now he's in a panic. He wants to get rid of the property. He paid another month of his mortgage payment, and now the guy just wants to get out of the deal. And see, what happens is with those deals, if you continue to follow up with them, don't let those deals go. So you have a competitor that gets a property, they get it under contract, they go into escrow. What happens is we tend to basically blow that off and go, oh, we lost the deal. They went with another buyer, right? But if you follow up, about 50% of them fall through. 50%. So if you know that 50% is going to fall through, if you know that for sure, then that is great to keep that in your pipeline, especially if it's a good deal, to potentially get that property under contract. So this lead source came from pay-per-click advertising. They went under contract with another buyer, wholesaler, another company, whatever it is. Wouldn't really disclose it. And that contract fell out of escrow because the buyer couldn't close. Now, property's worth about $250. Seller owes. Let me see what the seller owes on here $105, right? So there's about $100,000 and potentially $150,000 of equity in this deal. And the seller wants out. Now, here's the thing. Seller's previous offer that fell out was $212. So the previous offer that fell out of the deal was $212. Now, do you think I'm going to offer $212? Heck no. Not even close to $212. And apparently the property needs work. And the reason why this deal fell out is because it didn't make mathematical sense from an investment point, and the guy probably couldn't flip it. So obviously now I can use that as negotiation, saying, listen, 212 is not the number. So remember, when we are doing offers, and oh, by that, you guys coming on, I'm going on an appointment right now. I'm actually going to take you on the appointment. We're going to do some pre-appointment intelligence, kind of drive around the neighborhood, giving you a basis of idea of where this deal came on for you guys coming on right now. So anyways, there's 4 numbers we need to figure out, which I already figured out before you actually go on an appointment. You have to know these 4 numbers. It's critical to get a good understanding of what you're going to offer. So the first one is what the value of the property is all fixed up. We call that ARV, or after repair value. So you got to know the ARV, after repair value. So I found several renovated comparable properties, renovated now, clean, nice, updated, probably 2016, 17, 18, fairly good condition. These properties were selling or sold, for $250,000. Now remember, the seller owes $105,000. So I need now 3 more numbers. I need my exit number. See, remember, as real estate wholesalers, we have to exit the property super fast. What's up? Going on an appointment. So taking you guys with me. So we have to exit the property super fast. That means we have to make this deal such an amazing deal that someone's going to jump on it in a matter of days, right? 7 days. We want to take 7 days. Now, average days on market for this subdivision is about 66 days. I want to get such a smoking deal on this thing, and I put it out to buyers, and they jump on it now for in a matter of 7 days. So our second number we want is our exit price. Now, I have an exit price on this property at 189. So I believe that we could sell this quickly at 189. It's a house is built in the mid-80s. Fairly good, high demand subdivision I'm headed to right now. And we'll see how clean the property is and how well it shows for another potential investor we're going to flip it to. So remember, we're talking about the 4 numbers. We got ARV. We have to have an exit price. An exit price is our number we use to exit the property, right? So what's our sale price to our end buyer? Now, the next number is what we call the max allowable offer. You have to know your max allowable offer before you go meet with the seller. It's just like I used to bid on properties down at the courthouse steps all the time. I bought hundreds of properties at the courthouse steps. If you don't go in with your max allowable number, you'll get emotionally tied, emotionally involved in the deal, and what will happen is you'll outbid yourself, right? And one of the worst things we can the worst thing we can do in this market, worst we can do as a real estate wholesaler, is get a property at too high of a price, and then you can't sell it in 7 days or less, right? You can't sell it quickly. And we find ourselves trying to sell it. We're putting it out there. We got it on Craigslist. We're putting it out to our buyers list. No one's really responding because it's not that great of a deal, right? So I believe on this particular property, house is worth $250. Max allowable on this property is $189 to sell this sucker fast. Now I got to go look at the repairs. I got to go see the condition of the property, see what it is. And see what we're dealing with here. But those are the preliminary numbers going in. Now, if the place is trashed, well, I'm going to adjust my number. Now, remember, he was in escrow with another buyer. He was in escrow. What's up? He was in escrow with another buyer for $212,000, and that deal fell through. Now he's calling us back because we built a relationship with him and followed up with him. So he called back, so he fell out at $212,000. So we got our 4 numbers, right? We got our ARV 250, max allowable 189, subject to me actually going in and looking at repairs, right? Yeah, my lane's closing here, so I'm speeding up trying to get around this guy. Anyway, so now we have a max allowable offer, which is 189. We have a goal target number, and the goal target number is what I want to start with, potentially get lower, so I can end up at my max allowable if I get there. Or sometimes, more times than not, they'll take the number at the goal target number. So what's the difference between the goal target number and the max allowable offer? Well, the goal target number is a number where if we have to make an offer, it has to be low enough where it makes your stomach sick, right? It has to be low enough to make your stomach sick. And that you're kind of throwing that number out and you're just kind of testing the waters. This is, remember, in sales, it's whoever names the first number first loses, right? So if you're going to name the first number first, it's got to be super low, right? It's got to be low. It's got to be a low number. So you don't want to offer a higher number, and then you're screwed because now you got the contract. Stomach sick, yeah. It's you're gonna bite your tongue when you're actually making the offer to the seller. So in that particular case, we are making that low offer. So I'm going in on this appointment. I got my 4 numbers. My goal target number is in the 160s. Remember, he was in escrow with another buyer at 212. So I got to get him from 212 down to 160. Now, I got my file, right? So I prepared my file. And when you prepare your file, I've got my lead sheet, right? Have to have a lead sheet. Have to have a, once you get the lead sheet, then you have to have your 2 filled out contracts with no price, right? So you're going to have a filled out contract with no price. Then what you're going to do is you're going to have a letter of authorization, release information, so you can gather information about, you can get the payoff essentially from the loan, right? And then I have 3 low comps, and these are wholesale comps in the neighborhood. They're actually real wholesale comps. Now, these guys have paid, commissions out. They might have fixed stuff up on the property. So this is not their net number in their pocket. So remember now, my goal target number is 189. So I've got comps at a 180. I got comps at a 212, right? Or 200. What else I got comps at here? So I got comps at, I got a 204 right here. This is a low comp. I got a 180. This one's going to be great. This one right here. Same square footage. And I got a 217. So I got 204, 180, and 217. And with those numbers, how do you get the wholesale comps? You just pull, what you do is you're going to pull the subdivision. You're going to go back 3 months of sold properties, and you can use Redfin. You can use Zillow, right? Those are actually sold comps. And what's going to happen is you're going to pull the lowest of the lows. In any neighborhood, there's high comps, renovated comps, and low comps, wholesale comps. So you're going to look around, and you're going to look for properties that are similar within square footage, similar within size. This is my turn right here. Similar within with like 2-story, single-story lot size is the same. Your built's roughly the same. And then what you're going to do is you're looking for the low comps. There are similar type properties that you can use as negotiation, right? There's comps. Now, these comps are typically listed on the MLS, right? And that's their closed number. That means they had to pay commissions, closing costs, fees, whatever concessions they had to do to basically get that deal done. They had to pay. They might have had to fix up the property. So the bottom line is that that number is not going to be the net number to them. So I got a 180, I got a 204, and I got a 217, which I'm going into the seller right now, and I'm going to try and negotiate. Now, he was in escrow at 212, and the guy backed out because his numbers couldn't work. Now he's screwed, right? So, acquisition manager here in Annapolis, great content, awesome. But as acquisition manager, you go on appointments every single day, meeting with sellers all day, every day. So you got to go in prepared, knowing exactly what you can offer, what you can do. All right, and we are on, what street are we on here? I'm trying to talk to you guys and figure out what the heck I'm going to. So I'm 15th, let me see. All right, we're on 15th Avenue, okay. So this is, let me show you this neighborhood, a little pre-appointment intelligence right now. So what I'm looking for, here's the neighborhood right here. So what I'm looking for, I typically drive, I got 9 minutes to be at this appointment. Okay. So I got 9 minutes to be at this appointment. I'm just driving the neighborhood, kind of get an idea of what type of neighborhood it is, right? Trying to get an idea of any other sold comps. I'm looking for similar type of properties. Not a bad neighborhood, man. This would be actually a really, really, really good neighborhood. This would be a really good neighborhood to do a deal in here. So here's another 15th Avenue right here. Let me gotta figure out. Hold on, let me figure out where I'm going here. Cause there's two like 15th Avenue. I'm gonna get these. All right, so okay, so it looks like it's right off. So it looks like it's right. Kind of weird. Okay. All right, so I am close to the appointment here. I'm close and down the street from the appointment. All right, so I'm about to go in and talk to the seller. I wish I could have done a little bit more I like to drive the actual high comps. I like to drive at least the high comps in the area. I want to drive, and I'm looking for sale by owner. This is important. I'm looking for sale by owner. I'm looking for any vacant, nasty, beat up, high grass, boarded up, fire damaged crack houses that I can not use as a negotiation, but I can get those as self-generated deals. So remember, it's incredibly important to, here's a listed property up here that we used. It's incredibly important when you go on these appointments here to make sure you get and these are self-generated leads, because sometimes you will not get the contract on the house, but you will get the contract on a house that is a self-generated lead, for sale by owner, trashed house, beat up house, vacant house, no electric, nothing, stuff like that. Those tend to be some great deals. They call it driving for dollars, right? You see people driving for dollars, but you're going on appointments. So if you guys are acquisition guys and you guys are going out at appointments, spend some time, drive around the neighborhood, looking for the worst, nastiest, trash, ugliest, beat up old houses. Take a picture of it, get the address down, skip trace the heck out of it, find the owners, send them a letter. This is what we do. My sales guys get their KPI that they got to hit is 15 self-generated deals a week. 15 self-generated. And then I have my internal office skip trace them, call them, try to book an appointment with them, right? We send direct mail out to them, to every address that we can find with the seller. And guess what? We booked 3 appointments this week just from self-generated from the previous weeks, that we could get contract. These are 3 potential leads. There's no deal cost to them, and they're huge, right? Huge. Yeah, I don't leave the seller, George, anything. So I don't make a comp report, or I don't do anything. Listen, I'm there to get the contract. I'm there to get it signed. I don't like, the Deal Machine map's pretty cool, Ronnie. I don't like leaving without the contract. The only way, there's been 2 other incidences where I actually left without the contract because the seller said they have an attorney that they have to consult, right? If they say they got an attorney, they got to consult. Or another one, there was an illegal issue with another owner of the property, which is they inherited the property together, family members, and they were in a legal battle, so they had an attorney mediator in between. So in that particular case, you've got to let them go through the attorney to be able to do that. Otherwise, I'm pushing to get the contract. I want it signed. The only thing I want to leave them is an actual contract, information about who we are. And I don't really want to leave them comps, because they can take the comps and compare it to somebody else and, hey, you told me these comps or whatever. So I'm there when I go, like this appointment right here, I might take a while because I don't want to leave without the contract. I'm going to do whatever I can do physically to leave with the contract and overcome every objection I possibly can. How do you feel about REO properties looking for my first deal? I like sellers. REO properties, you're dealing with the bank. You got to put an earnest money down. You got short closing time frames. You can't put out clauses. I'd forget REO, dude, until you're serious about until you know what you're doing. I'll do REO properties because I can put up an earnest money. I can close in 10 days. If it's a smoking deal, I'll close it. But for someone brand new getting your first deal, motivated sellers, man, talk to motivated sellers. We typically do a $100 earnest money. I'll get cut this contract right here, get it done, and literally can close this sucker. I got the $70,000 RVM deal, so RVM lead machine. That smoking deal got a $70,000 deal getting done. So. Yeah, I don't even like leaving the contract because now they're going to shop it around. I only leave the contract with 2 personality types, a green, analytic, and a yellow, and they take longer time to make a decision, right? And the more you push them, the more they're going to recoil. 2 personality types, 50% of the people that you meet, which are red personality types, blue personality types, they're spontaneous. They'll make a decision right there on the point. and you should get the contract. So if you identify the personality correctly, you should get that contract right there on the spot. So, all right, I got to get to my appointment. It's right around the corner. Now, stay tuned. Put your post notifications on. Whatever you got to do to get notified when I go live again. Make sure you follow Flip to Freedom, because I'm going into appointment now. Once I get out of the appointment, I'm going to go back live, and I'm going to kind of give you a dissertation of exactly what went down on that appointment. So